Hi everyone, Gianni Di Poce here with you for TheoTrade, and today is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Stocks are down a little bit as we come into the first full trading week in a few weeks. We're finally in the second half of 2026, if you can believe it already, along with the first full trading week of the third quarter. So needless to say, all of the excuses that the bulls and the bears were using over the last few weeks, rebalancing, options expiration, contract rolls, that's all out the window now. We now are back to a regular trading market, basically up until Labor Day in September. So buckle up, get ready. This is where I think markets get fun. So we started off the week yesterday in a similar fashion. One of the themes that we've seen in recent weeks is tech starting off strong and then fading into the week. Now, obviously, technology is going to have a disproportionate impact on the indices because it's the largest and most important sector in the market. But as you can see here, we gave back a lot of yesterday's gains. We did rally off of the low of the session so far. Let's see where we close out the day. The posturing, I think, is pretty bullish, especially when you zoom out. Now, the big problem that we have at the index level is the fact that both the S&P and the Nasdaq have not hit new highs in weeks. Now, we had that contract roll around the time of the all-time high being printed on the continuous contract here. But the leadership has been in the Dow as of late. The Dow hit a new all-time high today. The Russell hit a new all-time high last week. And for the sustainability of this bull market, it is absolutely critical that we see the S&P and the Nasdaq make a new all-time high sooner rather than later. Now, there's some really good data out there that supports and talks about how, after a 10% pullback and a strong second quarter, we usually don't see all-time highs or markets peak in the month of June. So we've had that happen, and this supports the idea of a new all-time high unfolding in July. But like I said, it's absolutely imperative that this happens. Technology still struggling a little bit, down almost 2% on the day. Financials were the strongest performing sector in the market last week. We just had a new all-time high here in XLF, which is very significant. And even if you look at regional banks, we're on the verge, not too far away, of a new all-time high in regional banks for the first time since 2021. So that's a very good development. And when you consider financials, industrials, and even healthcare, these are all major components of the Russell 2000. But the story in healthcare, which is hitting a new all-time high today, by the way, goes much deeper than just the sector, the broader sector itself. You have to peel the layer back and look at biotech. This is a story that I've been pounding the table on for weeks because this is where the next phase of AI starts to develop. There's been so many different narratives on AI. Hey, it's going to have us not work anymore. Hey, it's going to take all of our jobs. Oh, it's going to destroy the consumer. Oh, it's going to solve all of our problems. But let's see how it actually improves medical care. Can it help treat disease and compile data faster and be more efficient? So you have XBI hitting new highs here today over in the trade desk. Here at TheoTrade, we just booked 28% gains on MBX Biosciences when I hit our target at 60. There's been a lot of really good movers in the healthcare space and biotech space as of late over in the Trinity trade. Some of the top performing stocks over the last few weeks, by the way, we've already been positioned. Names like Chimera Therapeutics, names like Stoke Therapeutics, showing strength, breaking to new highs. This is exactly what you want to see. And, for perspective, when you zoom out on these longer term charts, like we're just breaking out of these bases. It's still so early in this. And I think this is going to be the next phase of AI and a theme that we really need to be focused on going into the summer months, going deeper into the third quarter. So that's my favorite area of the market, at least for now. Other areas, quantum still facing some issues, semiconductor still facing some issues. You're seeing the unwind in some names like Micron, SanDisk, SK Hynix. They're listing their ADR here in the US on the Nasdaq. So, one of those signals like, hey, buy the rumor, sell the news type thing. So you're having that play out. But when you look at the big stocks in the US market, Mag 7 is actually up today. Okay. So how bad could things be? Take a look at the Mag 10. It's up a little bit on the day. Watching stocks like Nvidia for a comeback here. Looks like it's finding some support. Apple, within spitting distance of a new all-time high. Tesla has been chopping around rather violently, but I really like what I'm seeing in names like Meta, in names like Palantir, and in names like Microsoft. These are the areas of the market, the areas of the Mag 7, the areas of the Mag 10, if you want to include Palantir, AMD, and Broadcom. I mean, you even have to include SpaceX in the discussion now. SpaceX is down still on the day. But those have been the laggards in the mega cap tech space. So you need to see Meta come back to life. You need to see Microsoft come back to life. You are seeing Palantir start to come back to life. I mean, Palantir is up, pretty much 30% in the last week and a half. So it's been doing all the right things, signaling a low of significance is in, and it's all about rotation. AMD's been the big mega cap mover as of late. The best thing that could happen for a stock like this is for it to go sideways. So that's where the opportunities are, I think, here in the third quarter is rotation within the mega cap space, capitalizing on those laggards because, hey, they're calling it the lag 7 now already. So that tells you where the sentiment is right now. In other markets, you are seeing long-term bonds sell off despite that weak jobs report last week. You do have crude oil catching a modest bid here, nothing too crazy. VIX pretty much getting slammed lower after being bid earlier in the day, so that continues to be a non-factor. Precious metals look like they're forming another lower high here, and even crypto. You've seen some rallies over the last few days in crypto, but I'm just not getting excited over it just yet. I would love to see a final washout to new lows in the next few weeks, in the next couple of months. And I think it's actually going to correspond with an even greater bottom in stocks. I would like to see stocks and crypto bottom together. Even though stocks are allowed to rally without crypto, I'd love to see a major sentiment or cyclical reset of those simultaneously later in the year. So US dollar continues to be rather resilient. Bank of Japan keeps letting yields rise. Euro looks weak. And, money is coming back into the US because this is where all of the action is right now. So near term, just need to see where we finish out the day, see if the S&P can squeeze out a gain. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a rotation back into the Nasdaq again. Later this week. You actually need that to happen if this bull market's going to stay alive. So that's what I have for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you inside the trade desk. Take care.